welcome to another segment of AstrologyAnswers.com's Weekly Horoscope. My name is Terence Scardino. The week begins on Monday, December the 3rd, with a dark moon. And it's in introspective, more secretive Scorpio to begin with. A dark moon is that last phase of those last couple of days before the moon aligns with the sun, and which is the new moon, and begins a new 28 day cycle of putting our attention, what do we need, what do we desire, what are we focusing on, and it's going to be in Sagittarius by Thursday. So however Sagittarius influences your chart, that's going to be the new focus. Last month, because it's every 4 weeks, the new moon was in Scorpio. So so having the transiting moon Monday and Tuesday in Scorpio is the final wrapping up phase, bringing closure. It's not a good time to be making any important new decisions. It can feel like a holding pattern. It's good for introspection, for meditation, for maybe having more empathy. Mostly people just want to be alone. But then by Wednesday, the moon moves into Sagittarius, and by Thursday, it has reached the sun, and that's the beginning of the new monthly lunar cycle. Sagittarius gives an overall tone of optimism, outgoingness, traveling. So this is always that time of the year when people are attending all kinds of parties and festivities and traveling. That's the quality of Sagittarius. Now, Mercury still retrograde, but fortunately it's going direct on Thursday with the new moon on December the 6th. But before we get there, let's not forget Wednesday, because Wednesday, as everything is starting to shift and be set up, and Mercury is no longer retrograde, it doesn't start moving forwards till Thursday. So it's what we call, the day before Mercury turns direct, it's stationary. Or it's appearing through the telescopes that it's not moving at all. It's no longer moving backwards. It's not yet quite moving forwards. This brings a great deal of intensity with our mental faculties, with our decision making, with communications. So it's not yet time to be making any important decisions, but you may be doing a lot of thinking. Good for studying, good for researching. Now, on that day also, the sun is forming a hard angle to Neptune, which it does 4 times a year. So the sun is putting a spotlight on what we need to pay attention to. Neptune, compassion, healing, spirituality, even the imagination and creativity. However, the sun is in a stressful angle to Neptune. So it might be that, and then with all this energy changing, we might get unfocused, get confused. Our dreams, that's Neptune, could be a bit out of proportion to reality. So Wednesday is certainly a day to not make any decisions, to really reflect and meditate, just kind of quiet yourself now, and not, and don't let your mind go off in wild imaginations. And then on Thursday, now the Mercury is just beginning to move forwards, very slow. It takes a week or so before the Mercury is at its regular speed, meaning that your mental faculties, your decision-making capabilities are back to its regular speed. So your thinking is at least moving forwards in the right direction, but it may be a little still slow and sluggish. And with the new moon, you might be inspired to with new ideas, feeling hopeful, that expansive, optimistic energy of Sagittarius. So you can start really planning and thinking and discussing all these plans and travel plans. But best yet, to give it a few days to get into this rhythm, because you're still coming out of this sluggish kind of mindset, and you're feeling hopeful, but maybe you don't have, you're not as focused as you can be. Because also, as all that is happening on Thursday, which ultimately is good, but you're not yet ready to make the best decisions. On Friday, now ambitious Mars in Pisces, once every 2 years, is going to align with Neptune. And that's going to be probably starting to be felt by that end of Thursday, certainly peaking on Friday, lingering into Saturday, once every 2 years. So the Mars on the Neptune on the positive, let's always go to the positive, means a lot of Mars work, taking action with Neptunian pursuits. This could be very good for getting involved with holiday volunteer organizations, helping those less fortunate. It can be a lot of healing or compassionate or spiritual work activity. But you got to be careful, because most of the time the Mars is this energy of let's go for it, but it's being diffused or unfocused by Neptune. And with all this Mercury starting to move forwards in this expansive, optimistic Jupiter, Jupiter rules Sag, but in this Sagittarius new moon, you might be feeling like cabin fever, and you just want to get out there and start things going and be active for the new holiday season. But unless if you're not doing volunteer work, healing work, helping those less fortunate, and you're in the more mundane of trying to make money, starting launch a project, start a job project, etc., that ambitious Mars, when it slams up against Neptune, it gets lost. So it can create disappointments. It can also be your energy, Mars, is weakening, gets all diffused. So, it's starting to shift. Things are starting to look a lot more optimistic. You could be really thinking and starting to make plans. But this Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, best to just let it incubate, sit with it, discuss it, and brainstorm with other people, but don't make any really important decisions. I would just wait till Monday with the new work week and to just really start on, back to your regular routine. Now, before I sign off, I want to remind you that I'm available for a one-question offer for a nominal fee. To order it, there's a direct link in the description box underneath the video. And the time of birth is always really important, even if it's the approximate not time of birth. So I want to thank you for tuning in. I hope to see you next week with my next segment. Until then, have a great week.